Civil society organizations are intensifying calls for a structured and merit-based process in appointing heads of state-owned enterprises, warning against what they see as a growing trend of political patronage. These concerns come as President John Dramani Mahama finalizes key ministerial and agency appointments, prompting questions about governance and accountability. There is more in this report by ChannelOne News' Daniel Sakite.
1 month after his swearing-in, President John Mahama's administration is steadily taking shape with key ministerial and state agency appointments. Civil society organizations have largely commended his selection so far, describing them as strategic and inclusive. However, convener of One Ghana Movement, Senior Jose, speaking on ChannelOne TV's news and current affairs program, The Big Issue, raised concerns over how heads of state agencies are being appointed, cautioning against the practice of using these positions as political rewards rather than a means to enhance efficiency and national development.
I look at his SOE appointments and I get concerned. You see, I was hoping that this time around, and maybe on hindsight, any other future leader should think about it. People should earn their place getting into those seats. People should go through a proper recruitment process to really become managers of these agencies. These agencies are going to be the operators of the policy that comes from the top. It has never happened before. But for the model that we've been using all this while, where has it brought us? That's the question. Show me which one state-owned enterprise is legitimately doing well. Very few to none.
Research fellow at CDD Ghana, Dr. John Asai Kwapon, believes the president's appointments signal a long-term strategy for the National Democratic Congress as it looks ahead to the 2028 elections. He has also thrown his support behind the consultative forum President Mahama plans to hold on the economy and the free senior high school policy, stressing the importance of stakeholder buy-in to ensure meaningful reforms.
When there's strong public support for such a program, but at the same time, there's also public indication that, look, we can take a look at some of the implementation challenges. For me, it is good to have this kind of national consultative forum that gathers all ideas across all spectrums of Ghanaians who may have different ideas, different positions on what to do, about our education sector and an important priority like the free SHS. Build some consensus around it so we can at least agree on the way to move forward. I'm not a big fan of extreme partisan adversarial politics. It doesn't border well for me for national development.
For his part, President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, has welcomed the oral initiative but insists that it must go beyond the optics and actively recover misappropriated state funds.
Oral is an excellent idea. I mean, I support oral in all its entirety. I think they should go beyond the optics to making sure that they get a lot of committed, dedicated prosecutors who would be beyond what the Attorney General can marshal, and then make sure that we get to the bottom of some of these assets that were, either looted or somehow were about to be looted. I think those ones, for me, that matters quite a lot for me as well.
On economic policy, Director of Research at the Institute of Economic Affairs, Dr. John Kwache, has reiterated calls for the abolishment of the e-levy, arguing that it places undue burden on ordinary Ghanaians. However, he maintains that the betting tax should remain intact while urging the government to focus on revenue mobilization through measures such as strengthening property tax collection.
The e-levy, right from the onset, some of us said it was a nuisance tax. It shouldn't have been imposed in the first place. So it should go. Then the COVID tax is also outdated, it obsolete. I think all these taxes should go. Now the betting tax, which they have said will probably go, I don't support that because I think we should use it for revenue generation purposes and also as a deterrence. When you have done away with these taxes, you can look at the loopholes in our tax system.
Meanwhile, Executive Director for the Center for Alternative Politics and Security, has backed President Mahama's commitment to investigating electoral violence, describing it as a crucial step in upholding Ghana's democratic integrity.
So I'm very happy that the president, as part of his 120-day agenda, has opened investigations into the Ayawaso violence, the 2020 election violence, and even the 2024 election violence, and also promised, to end vigilante groups and of course, look at the insecurity surrounding illegal mining.
On the gender front, women and child rights advocate Gloria Ofori-Buedu is calling for stronger economic empowerment initiatives for women, stressing that sustainable development cannot be achieved without targeted policies to improve women's financial independence.
Most local governments' internally generated funds are from the markets. The Mahama markets, the Kumasi markets, and all that. And I keep telling our MCs and DCs that if you are getting your budget from IGF from the markets, why don't you strengthen the market, even give them amenities like toilets and showers and places where they can have some comfort. But somehow the money is coming from the women, but then they are also being sidelined. So it's about time that we had an economic debate as to why women are generating a lot of the income in the local government, a lot of income even in the informal sector and employment, and yet their businesses continue to remain very small, compared to that of the men, and they are not able to, become big like the Malcolms, who started with a small shop and now they are all over. As a nation, we should sit down and analyze.
With 1 month of his administration completed, President Mahama's appointments have set the stage for his governance agenda. Stakeholders now look forward to him fulfilling his promises on economic reforms, accountability, and national development. For ChannelOne News, I am Daniel Sakite.